stockbroker to verify your holdings. This being a material event, the rules of the exchange require that the trading limits, and the trading limits mean that stock prices cannot move more than 15% on any trading day, up or down. But on such occasions, we lift these limits for purposes of price discovery, liquidity, to ensure that the market prices the stock accordingly. Of course, this being a bonus issuance, we have the advisors here and the experts. We know what the impact on the stock price will be as a result of the bonus issuance of 5 new shares for everyone held. Bank of Baroda being one of the oldest banks in Uganda, and this is a testament from a few conversations we've had from the market perspective, have good corporate governance, have a large branch network, have good quality services to their customers, their compliance is top-notch, and have a good asset portfolio, among others. So these are factors that investors look at as they look at opportunities to invest in and take advantage of the different opportunities on the stock market. In order to create liquidity, of course, one of the key things to look at is the ability for a stock to grow in terms of capital gains, but also the ability of a company to reward its investors through dividends. I must say that Bank of Baroda has consistent paid dividends to its shareholders. We must thank you for that. And that has been reflected in its pricing and growth in the stock market price over the years, and the way investors view it in terms of stability of its stock price, among other factors that are considered. Bank of Baroda has been a friend of capital markets, as I mentioned, and was the first financial institution to be listed on the exchange. And with that, I would like to conclude by saying we will continue to support you, Bank of Baroda team, and the markets at large on any capital raises or any asks you would need from us. The stock exchange is there to support not only the current listed companies, but the investors at large. And we look forward to your continued growth, your continued support to the capital markets, and better performance as we go through this turbulent time on a global setting. With that, I wish you all the best, and I thank you for listening to me. Good day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul, our host today. And indeed, what you're talking about Baroda is true. We appreciate the research made about the bank, and we believe we are going to be growing from one level to another. And we thank you for all the support that you've given the bank through the time until the approvals. So right now, I'm going to call upon another person who has also been instrumental in this process, and that is Mr. Robert Baldwin from Crested Capital, the CEO. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not sure about instrumental. And actually, as an American and being in the stock market, I'm usually in a hurry. So I would like to start by just recognizing the guests and thanking them for coming, including the High Commissioner, Representative, the Chair, MD, and the members of the board of the USC. There's some members of the board here from the USC. You're here. Thank you for coming. Also members of the board of Bank of Baroda. So all protocol observed. I get to use that shortcut. So let me also start by thanking the advisors to the deal. H&G, who are the legal advisors, we thank you for your work on this transaction. Grant Thornton are the reporting accountants. They did a lot of work. They also worked on tax advisory for this deal. The management, of course, has put in a lot of effort, and we appreciate you, management, because as Paul said, it was a process. I don't know how smooth internally before we got to you, but we worked hard. No, it was very smooth. and we thank management for your efforts. Of course, the board of Baroda for your approvals. We thank you for that. And I can't leave out the regulators. Of course, the Capital Markets Authority. I hope you're represented here. Did they come? Did Keith come? I didn't see him. He didn't come. So we recognize the Capital Markets Authority. We're also part of this process of approving the prospectus. So we appreciate the Capital Markets Authority, also the USE, our hosts today, and the depository. The fact that the CEO had mentioned all shareholders have their, we believe all shareholders have their shares. Bob, they have their shares. They can trade today. He's nodding. Yeah, that's wonderful. We really appreciate that effort. Even over the weekend, I was receiving text messages. So thank you very much. Look, I think, and of course, Crested's team. Some of us were here today. Raise your hand if you're from Crested. Or you're hiding in the back. Why are you guys hiding? Thank you very much. So really, I don't have a lot to say because we're working towards a timeline of 9:30. I think we have a deadline today. So I want to put in just a couple of words about this company. I see shareholders here. Sorry, I didn't thank you as well. Baroda shareholders, please raise your hands. Hey, thank you so much for coming. I'm also raising my hand. Equity story of Baroda has been really great, and I won't take us back in history, but really among the 10 listed companies on this exchange, Baroda has been a very consistent performer. And as Paul said, dividends have been consistent. We have many issuers that have ups and downs, and that's also normal in the business cycle. But I think for the last several years, Baroda has made an effort to return value to shareholders. And I can't stress how important this is, because we can all talk about the stock exchange. We can promote companies to investors, but if the companies themselves don't give a return, investors have choices. Investors can go for other securities that are not equities. They can do other investments, and they do and should do other investments. But if we are to succeed to grow this stock market, then companies must bring their side of the deal. And frankly, Baroda, you have overachieved, and we thank you for that. And I don't say overachieved lightly. They're talking about, yes, 125 billion in capital, but that's 5 shares now, additional for each one held, which means that every shareholder now is multiplying the growth in equity, as that happens, we hope, by 6 times. And that is unique, and that is very, very good. So we thank you again for that decision. I think for those who are watching us, because I think we're a virtual and in-person event, I think for those investors who are already Baroda shareholders, well done. You'll have a very good day. For those who are thinking about becoming shareholders, study the business. There are choices. You have multiple banks which you can buy. You have other companies on the stock exchange. So study them. Talk to your brokers and ask your broker for information about the opportunities here. They should be able to give you research reports and tell you how those companies are performing. And when you find them and they're performing well, then consider investing in this stock market, because really the future is very bright, and we are very glad to be here today, and thank you all for coming. I think I will introduce.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. I'm going to invite our Managing Director, Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited, Mr. Sashida, to come and welcome guests and also give us a speech. You're welcome, sir.
So, Charge d'Affaires in the High Commission of India to Uganda, Mr. Negi. I am missing this day, as Robert just mentioned, Mr. Keith from CMA in this August gathering, Paul Biswo, CEO of USC, Chairperson of Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited, Madam Vestina, who is guiding the board and to me personally very well, and other board members, Dr. Memuza, Thaddeus, and shareholders present in this gathering, one of the big ones like Magan Bhai in this gathering, and those joining us through virtual program platforms. All protocol observes, ladies and gentlemen, a very good and pleasant morning to all of you. A small step of man, but a giant leap for the mankind. So these were the lines which Mr. Neil Armstrong sent when he landed on moon. And that is how it was one more step towards strengthening the progress and prosperity of the people of Uganda and the country. So the increase in capital from existing Uganda shilling 25 billion to Uganda shilling 150 billion was just at the click of a mouse at the SCD level, at the bank level. But this small entry, we believe, will bring more confidence amongst the people of Uganda towards the stock markets in general and Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited in particular. This bonus issue comes at the backdrop of the instruction of Bank of Uganda to raise the capital of scheduled financial institutions. Bank of Uganda, Baroda Uganda Limited decided to increase this capital by issuing bonus shares out of the retained earnings for its shareholders. I read it somewhere that investments in stock still remains the sixth preferred investment option in Uganda, while land, bonds, etc. come above it. But I am very confident that with the rampant improvement in technologies and super income being generated gradually through stocks will make it a lucrative investment option, as is prevalent in other developing and developed countries. Further, I also believe with the bonus and enhanced dividend for the year 2023, Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited will substantially contribute to this penetration. The availability of bonus shares will enhance the number of banks shares at the hands of retail and institutional shareholders, which will enable and encourage more Ugandans to invest for better future while partnering in bank's growth. Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited, on one hand, brings the legacy of 70 years of existence, and on the other hand, display the modernity of digitization and machine learning. The bank grew from strength to further stabilize its business and capably capitalized on nurturing seeds shown in the last 70 years of existence in Uganda. The bank, during the 70 years of its existence in this beautiful country with beautiful people, has manifested several times that it is real testimony of growth and subsistence of the people of Uganda and country Uganda. The bank has many firsts added to its name in the banking industry of Uganda, just like Paul and Robert mentioned, that one such being the first bank to be listed on Uganda Security Exchange. It makes me happy and delighted when I see on that history wall that bank's name is mentioned as the first commercial bank to be listed in Uganda. As one of the biggest and most compliant banks in the country, Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited holds the progress and prosperity of the people of Uganda close to its heart, and with this care in mind, strives towards its mission to be a top-ranking local bank of international standards, committed to augmenting stakeholders' value through concern, care, and competency. The year 2022 witnessed several global turmoil, including Russia-Ukraine conflicts, volatility in crude oil prices, and consistent increase in interest rates globally and by US Fed more particular. The global banking industry was severely impacted by a large number of non-performing loans, stressed assets, and downgrading of bonds. These resulted in inflationary pressures due to higher food and oil prices and continued supply chain disruptions. These challenges led to slow growth of asset book, coupled with diminishing interest income in some of the major global countries. Consequently, the central banks of different nations then deemed it necessary to issue guidelines to support financial institutions and customers, ensuring the resilience of financial sector. Likewise, the central bank of the country, Bank of Uganda, also brought several policies to support the banking system and the economy. The timely implementation of these prudent policies resulted in stabilizing the economy and diluted the impact of global uncertainties. This resulted in Ugandan economy witnessing GDP growth of 6.30% in year 2022. I believe that the Ugandan economic growth is expected to remain resilient and accelerated to above 6% per year. In the medium term, owing to restricted inflationary pressures, central banks' conducive monetary policy, and the inclination of government on revenue collection and spending efficiencies to cut the deficit. The investments and exports of oil in near future will support the government's other promotion efforts, such as tourism, export diversification, and agro-industrialization. The oil exploration in Hoima, government initiatives to develop more industrial parks in the country, and investments made to generate more electricity will surely make Uganda a very attractive investment location. These measures will result in a stronger local currency, that is Uganda shillings, and reduction in rate of interest for attractive credits. This will surely be favorably impacting the economy and banking system by improving and developing more convenient, efficient, and faster deliveries of services, and will empower the customers to use the available digital channels and transact with ease, safety, and convenience. Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited has always strived to create milestones with each passing year and has contributed to further enhancing banking experience for its customers with trust, transparency, and togetherness. The year 2023 will further widen the available opportunities to be explored and will enable the institutions to provide services which add value and create delightful experience to customers and other stakeholders. I believe the time has come that opportunities and options embedded are further nurtured and redeemed. This will surely bring financial tranquility in and around this beautiful country and will make it a much better place with wisdom and prosperity, invest and grow. I take this opportunity to place my sincere thanks and gratitude to the Bank of Uganda, Capital Markets Authority, Absentia, and Uganda Securities Exchange for their valuable guidance and continued support in the process. I further acknowledge the efforts being deployed by Crescent Capital, Grant Thornton, and HNG Advocates for their sincere efforts to complete the process in stipulated time well before it. I express my deepest gratitude to all banks, esteemed shareholders, customers for their continuous support and patronage. And I also acknowledge the contribution of the board, management, and all the staff members of Bank of Baroda Uganda Limited, and believe and make this momentous occasions possible. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have
Thank
a
you.
good.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sashi. We have a list of physical attendance. I'm going to request us to write as we continue the program. Thank you so much. I'm going to invite His Excellency, Mr. Jitendra Singh Negi, the acting Indian High Commissioner to Uganda, to come and give us a speech. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Our host for the morning, Uganda Security Exchange, Mr. Paul and his team, Chairperson and Board of Directors of Bank of Baroda, MD, Bank of Baroda, Mr. Richard from Crested Capital, and most importantly, the shareholders. So I think the shareholders are the most important people this morning. So actually, as a Government of India functionary in Uganda, as a Government of India's functionary in Uganda, it is a very happy and proud moment for me to stand here and witness this event when Bank of Baroda has issued bonus to its shareholders. Actually, a couple of days back when I came to know about this program, I was speaking to ED Bank of Baroda about the importance of this program. And I'm not an economist, so I wanted to understand like what I'm supposed to speak on this occasion. But unfortunately, the previous speakers, all with financial backgrounds, they don't have left anything for me to talk about economy. So I can just say like it's a very proud moment. Bank of Baroda has its roots in India, and Bank of Baroda is the first bank to be listed in USE. And now I'm not wrong. This is the second occasion when they have issued bonus to shareholders. So I'm sure shareholders will be happy. And with this existence of 70 years, Bank of Baroda has been contributing enormously to the growth of economy in Uganda. And I wish and I am sure they will continue to do it for another many, many years, many decades. So once again, I congratulate Bank of Baroda and all the shareholders on this issue of bonuses. And finally, like I said in the beginning, as a government functionary, it's a very proud moment for me to be part of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me call my co-MC to take it on from here. You're welcome, Tony.
Thank you. We are live on Smart 24, and we also have shareholders online tuning into this event. So our next item is going to be bearing. Sorry about that. Our next item is going to be bearing exactly. We need to do our bearing at 9:30. So in the remaining 10 minutes, we're going to do a Q&A for the questions that are coming in from here, from the room and online. So if you have any burning question, please. Any questions, even if it's not burning. Questions, please. Can we have a shareholder that would like to express or make a comment on the event?
Hello, I'm Andrew Muhimbise. High Commissioner, it's fantastic to see you, and we should take a picture together after. So thank you. They talked of Baroda. I've been a shareholder for 10 years or so. Baroda listed when I was in secondary school. So now I'm a shareholder. And when they talked of consistent dividend, I did some research on it last year. Last year, Baroda made 20 years as a listed company. And the price adjusted to date was 9 shillings. So Baroda's IPO price was 9 shillings. And the dividend was 9 shillings last year. So Baroda had grown from 9 to 85 as at that time. And I talked to management, we want more dividend. By 2030, we should have a dividend equivalent of 20 today. Because the CEO said dividend is what keeps us in, but you have paid dividend well. We appreciate the conservativeness. I actually call it Hindu capitalism. Yeah, you keep 30% to, no, you keep 70 to 80, then you use the money well, which is very important. And we appreciate that. I will. Thank you. We are happy and we look forward to the price adjusting. Thank you very much.
My name is Joseph Kuratire. They have provoked me to speak. I don't know why. I didn't raise my hand, but they have brought the microphone to me. High Commission, the members in front of us, and the rest of us who are in attendance. I'm a shareholder. It's true. I participated right from the IPO up to now. I'm a royal cadre of Bank of Baroda in all means. If my manager or managers have several accounts in your different branches, some of them know me very well. The previous MDs, your position, they have been in touch with me. I can see Robert nodding his head. It's true. But from Lutega, Tamrike, Mr. Vaso, you haven't been in touch with me, but all your predecessors were in touch with me. I've given you my card. You've been in touch. What is the interest of we investors or shareholders? There are only two. Although you can leave the rest, management and the board and what have you. For us, we are interested in a dividend and capital gain as investors. Only two. And that's the why maybe I can talk literally only those two. The rest I leave them. We are all stakeholders in our own capacities. But my interest of being here is just on capital gain and deep payment of a dividend. It's true, you are paid persistently the dividend. Thank you very much. Then I follow. If we were to follow the price, we could have got slightly less than 2. I was anticipating that you would pay 2 because of the multiples. Indeed, you have paid 2 shillings per share. I think this financial year could have been 1.66 something. So I'm aware that that increment has been built. The Mohammedans and those who know the economics and what it means. Capital gain. So if you look at the graph, as you live here, Robert, you look at the graph of capital gain. In 2013, when they gave the bonus, the equivalent was 100 as of today. If we are comparing 85, compare 85 with 80, the equivalent of 80 of 100 in 2013. This is now 10 years. It raised up. The highest point was 162. I've been following, participating almost weekly. It went down 2018. COVID came in, went down because of not paying dividend by regulations from Bank of Uganda, kept on going down, reached 190, 95. The lowest has reached, do you know, Mr. Vice President, is 62. I have all the records. It was one day it reached 62, went up again, 80, has been at 85 for a long time. Of course, with this dilution, I know all those terms, it will definitely go down. At what level, it will depend how we participate. No one can determine the price tomorrow among us here. As we hammer, and then the participant buys some shares from now, it will be the one to determine the market price from today and tomorrow and another day. No one can predict how the movement will be. I'm very much aware of that. So you investors, if you want to increase the prices, it's up to you. See how you buy and sell, the price at which you will be exchanging, of course, in collaboration with USE. What I can only advise the USE and the management, our market is young, as you are aware. Not at the level of Nairobi, Johannesburg, and the rest of the developed countries, London and New York. I know all that. So we have to jealously protect this young baby of ours, especially from the USE point of view. You work hand in hand closely with these brokers. Try to see how you can stabilize. You can come in administratively. I wonder how, let me take a case of DFCU. If it is 530 and only 1,000 reduces it to 310, I wonder what administration it is to allow such things to happen. You should have investigated unless you were allowing it. You can imagine, take a case of DFCU, was that I think at 530, somehow, somewhere, one person using the 1,000 shares, and they reduced it to 310. That is it. That's where it is now. What type of market forces are we applying? I leave it to you to do your management and investigate. How do you control these brokers? You work as a team, protect the market. At the end of the day, if the market is successful, we all benefit. That's what we should realize. We are all stakeholders in this matter. That's a rife example which I've just used. You go to follow DFCU. It raised at about 950. Now it's at 310. How do you expect a young person who gets such information to come in and participate? Has lost almost 300%. Leave alone the MTs which are coming in. Robert, you should be guiding these people. Let us guard against unnecessary fluctuation as much as we can. And then the market, of course, will come in to determine the price. But management, we have to come in, as stakeholders, we have to come in and protect this young baby of ours so that it can grow. I hope you will consider we investors' interests, as I said, it's shareholder, it's dividend which you can control. Unfortunately, we investors summarize, and our young marketers have said the market price of Uganda's stock depends on payment of a dividend. It's unfortunate. We don't even look at capital gain and any other factor. People here, they just look at how much have they paid, then they participate. You look at Umemi. When the concession was removed or was being doubted, it went down up to 170. And we were buying these shares at 600. After declaring a dividend, and the government has come up to declare there's no more recession, now you can see it has reached 440. That's because of the response of what's happening. Even indeed, after this meeting, Mr. Vice and the rest of it, after we have finished this day's listing, the price will depend on the outcome of what will be the reaction. After listing, will it come to 10? Will it come to 20? Will it come to 30? Will it come to 50? Maybe the following day will make subsequent changes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bonus issuance is like winning a lottery, but without the need to buy a ticket. You just wake up one day and find you have more shares to whatever you had in your portfolio. So thank you, Bank of Baroda, for the generosity given to the investors and the growth we see the bank is experiencing. At this moment, it's 9:30 and it's time to ring the bell. I'd like to call exchange and the guests can.
This is it. The bell has been rung. Congratulations, Bank of Baroda and the shareholders. Bank of Baroda, thank you so much for your generosity. If you'd like to take a picture with the team, it can be done in a phased kind of manner. You can please come.
The team from Exchange, we should need to have a picture with our guests and the directors. Bob, Gilbert, Bob, should be Chiravo, Brenda, Odidi.
Let me Bank of Baroda shareholders, please come and take pictures with the CEO team. We have Bank of Baroda board members in the house. They're also taking pictures with. Staff of Bank of Baroda, kindly come forward, so take pictures.
So the event is officially closed. We are moving into you can move at leisure. So we're now moving into another session of Q&A with the media.